So what we're going to play, for those of you who've never seen this before, we're going to play a game called Like I Like My Blank. And here's how it goes. We're going to say, depending on the sexual orientation of our people standing in line there, they will say, I like my men or my women, like I like my, and we'll fill in the blank. And then they have to come up with a pun or a play on words or something clever, hopefully something funny. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
All right. First word is leaf. Oh!
I like my women like I like my leaves. Just jumping into a big pile of them.
I like my women like I like my leaf blowing.
I like my men like I like my leaves veiny. I like my men like I like my leaves in all different colors.
I like my women like I like my leaves all up in a tree.
I like my women like I like my leaf in front of my fig.
Moving on! You have a good one? You have a good one?
I think so.
All right, go for it.
I like my women like I like my leaves, dried and stuck to a piece of cardboard.
I like my men the way I like my leaves dead.
Well, that kind of put a damper on things. Moving on! Crayons!
I like my women like I like my crayons, colored.
I like my women like I like my crayons with a big box.
I like my men like I like my crayons made of wax. I like my men like I like my crayons pointy.
I like my women like I like my crayons. I play with them with children.
I like my men like I like my crayons 64 at a time.
Moving on! Mushroom!
I like my men the way I like my mushrooms, covered in fungus.
I like my women like I like my mushrooms. I like my women like I like my mushrooms in my mouth.
What the fuck? I like my women like I like my mushrooms trippy.
I like my women like I like my mushrooms on top of a steak.
I like my women like I like my mushrooms buried in my backyard.
Hubcap.
I like my women like I like my hubcaps. They got my mind spinning.
I like my men like I like my hubcaps on the side of the road.
I like my women like I like my hubcaps, stripped by inner city folks.
All right. Let's talk about a chair.
I like my men the way I like my chairs, folded.
I like my men like I like my chairs reclining and vibrating.
I like my women like I like my chairs sitting on my face.
Thank you.
I like my men like I like my chairs. Lazy boy.
I like my chairs the way, or my women the way I like my chairs, named Queen Anne. God, I just
I like my women like I like my chairs, old and leathery.
Microwave.
I like my men like I like my microwave heating me up.
I like my women like I like my microwave. Ready in 30 seconds.
I like my men the way I like my microwave on the kitchen counter.
I like my women like I like my microwave. Just in the kitchen.
I like my men like I like my microwave plugged in.
Sorry. I like my women like I like my microwaves. If I stare at it too long, I could get brain cancer.
I like my women like I like my microwaves. Barefoot and pregnant. I know it doesn't make sense with a joke, but that's the way I feel in real life. Next, DMV.
I like my men like I like the DMV. Rude.
I like my men the way I like the DMV, moving.
I like my women like I like my... my DMV, I like waiting in a long line.
I like my women like I like the DMV with their own photographer.
I like my men like I like my DMV. It takes them a really long time to get to the point.
I like my women like I like my DMV. The only way I can get to home plate is by taking first a written test, then an eye test, and then a test drive. Screw it. Next! Grandpa!
I like my women like I like my grandpa.
I like my men the way I like my grandpa, no teeth.
I like my women like I like my grandpa, smelling of Vicks Vapor Rub.
I like my women with my grandpa.
Moving on! Paper clips!
I like my men like I like my paper clips, really curvy and hard.
I like my women like I like my paper clips, helping me manage my projects.
I like my women like I like my paper clips, keeping my shit together.
I like my women like I like my paper clips, they're way more fun in a chain.
I like my men like I like my paper clips, flexible. I like my men like I like my paper clips in a variety of colors and sizes.
I like my women like I like my paper clips, metal.
You're not even trying anymore, are you?
I like my men the way I like my paper clips, cheap and from Office Depot.
I like my women like I like my paper clips, coming in a box.
And last, but certainly not least, asparagus.
I like my women like I like my asparagus, making my pee smell funny. I like my women like I like my asparagus, steamy. I like my men like I like my asparagus with the tip snipped off. I like my women like I like my asparagus. You like 8 or 10 of them, wrap them up in rubber bands.
I like my women like I like the word asparagus, with the ass up front.
I like my men the way I like my asparagus, hot and steamy. Okay, God Almighty.
David, you're going to give us the last thing.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
I know.
I like my women like I like my asparagus, green and slimy.
Ladies